there is some additional stuff that we're probably going to do. But hey, guys, this is not King Arthur Pendragon episode 60. It's King Arthur Pendragon 59 part 2 because we're doing the winter phase. We're gonna do we have a hard out in about 51 minutes and change. I do want to say, last week, I took things very flippantly. Several cast members spoke to me. James wrote a letter, and it included things like, I don't want you to start spiraling by the end of this. And I was like, damn, I was already starting to spiral. And then he was like, and the one thing you definitely should not do is retcon the scene. I was like, damn it. That was the first thing I thought. It was that we should retcon the scene. He knows me too well. Anyway, I have been taking this game very flippantly, and I have allowed my inner Merlin-ness, and it's time to get back to the Arthur-ness. Which is why I will not make any weird pledges. Like, we're going to make this more like King Arthur and the Knights of Justice cartoon series, the one about the football players that get sent into the past. We're not doing that. We're going to be very serious and emotionally driven story play here. I don't know if you guys wanted to do a funeral scene for your boy, or if you want to jump directly into the spreadsheets.
That's a great question.
And before we jump into the spreadsheets, James has some concerns about the way estates work from Book of the Estates, which is very reasonable because Book of the Estates is one of the most poorly written books, even though it has a lot of very pivotal content and it has a lot of really good ideas. And then it's like, and here's 15 officers. You don't need to know any of these people, but we're going to spend the next 4 pages describing how much they get paid and how much they eat. And I was like, this is totally worthless.
It was definitely the writer wanting you to understand everything about the Doomsday Book and why it was written and how it was written and how things were calculated, even though they have no bearing on the game.
I'll say that my read on that is that is correct.
So going back to your first question about do you want to do a funeral scene, I don't mind. Yeah, I didn't come today planning for that.
Oh, I see. You did not come here to bury Caesar. You came here to praise him. I see.
I mean, look, I just came here expecting.
Then we can move to the spreadsheets.
Spreadsheets.
What are your estate
I don't know
concerns?
whether it's. I don't know that if the group still wants that scene, then maybe we do it at the start of 5.11.
Sure.
Given that it happened at Christmas of 5.10, so. But we can work it out as a group. We want to do that or not. So I guess I figured that we could talk about the Book of Estates just quickly on the stream only because the fans love the spreadsheet. So just to give them the inner working, I'd only ever skimmed Book of the Estate previously, and so now I actually sat down and read through it. It does not swap out for Book of the Manor. It is a whole separate system. The idea being that an estate is not a manor. You know, if you're a knight, you have a holding, you have a household you look after. That's what Book of the Manor is for. If the king grants you a large tract of land, which includes multiple holdings, villages, you know, not something the size of Salisbury, but certainly, you know, what would be considered a county.
Yes,
that's an estate.
All of you qualify to be estate holders on behalf.
Yeah,
of
we have ticked the box where the king could give us.
Yes,
you know,
killing Duke Gorlo, saving the Countess, and your father giving his life in defeating a Fae and in pursuit of Excalibur means that all 3 of you qualify to have your lands be crunched into an estate and basically remain in your family ad nauseum.
Yeah, so and then the question becomes like in the book it basically gives you 10 estates that cover Logris. And it's like, you play it, and then they're all pre-statted out. This is what they come with basically, and they range from Salisbury through all the way to London. They are literally, Logris is broken down into 10 like 100+ acre estates. Or you can say, okay, we're just going to build it from scratch, and we're just going to say it starts from your own household and expands out from there. So it comes out from Pitton, it comes out from Shroot, whatever the case may be. And then it's whether or not we want to factor in anything that we previously built in our households and say, do they translate into improvements in the estate, or are we all literally starting from scratch
I
with
actually
a bare
thought
bones estate?
moving the improvements over was going to be the homework, essentially.
Yeah.
Is
Because
that
some have direct translations, but some are also, for example, a Conigarth in the manor gives you a roll to see whether you get a check in Cowardly and Lustful. A Conigarth in Book of the Estate gives you an automatic check every year in Cowardly and Lustful. So if you're a knight, you never want to build a Conigarth because for about the first 5 years, your battle will be going down year after year because you'll always get the check. In which case, if we're going to convert our houses across, I'm definitely putting my Conigarth to the torch. Um,
I think that's pretty reasonable.
yeah,
The other thing is, I believe that Book of the Estate basically assumes that your main manor is the estate. Like
yeah,
the
and
estate
all
is your
improvements.
super manor, and then all of your other manors, your knight vassals, your villages, and that are dotted across the counties, all answer to you. Those are part of your greater estate, but your main manor is the estate.
Yeah, and it does assume that any improvements that you add are done to your specific house. And if one of your knights adds, say one of your knights might, for example, build a church, but that comes under the owned by others, and so therefore, even though it's on your lands, you don't get any revenue from it. It doesn't count towards your rent.
So I think that based on this, the other thing to recognize is that Spoon may not like us move to Book of the Estate because he will lose his castle.
Castle's in Book of the Estate, though.
Yes, but the issue is that Book of the Estate reorganizes all of the counties, and there is a existing county that exists between Salisbury and Ridichan, which, if you'll recall, our good Baron, how should I say this? He aggressively acquired a number of manors, including one which he gave to Kendric, and that is, I believe, where Kendric built his castle. Am I?
It was in the northwest part of the county.
Yes. So those
So
manors
not
are
in
going
Pitton,
to
though.
be. They have been
Yeah, it was not
illegally
in Pitton. Well, I
acquired.
mean, I have. Yeah, the paper
Also-
castle is my big castle.
All of that wood that the Baron cut down was not issued by the Royal Forester because there was no king and also there was no Royal Forester. That does not excuse the fact that it was done. So all of those lands are being seized by the king for reissuance to his choice to replace county. I think it's called Garenta.
Gentian,
Sorry?
Gentian or Gentian.
Yeah, something. It's the one
Gentian.
directly north between the two of them. Yes. I think if what I'm saying is, even though I've prepped all this estate content, there is a very real reason for us to not go through with it.
And I think that like I'm ambiguous either way.
Okay.
I mean, I'm okay managing the manor sizes that I have now in
Okay.
Book of the Manor. I mean, it's just, and I feel like Book of the Manor is what we know.
Sure.
But there's also an interesting thread line of like, yeah, my castle is in another
County.
county now, but there was many examples of feudalism where a knight would swear like oaths of loyalty to two different lords.
Yes, but that manor was acquired illegally is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So it's being returned to the king. You
I
might
see.
note that this is a great way to quickly build loyalty to new knights for the king and also raise a shit ton of money very quickly is, all
Doling
of
out
the
new-
illegally acquired lands are being returned to their presumptive owner. I will be sad if we don't do Book of the Estate, if only because we don't get outrageous consumption rules, which is where you get twice as much glory as you spend in Libra, which means that you can do stuff like have a bunch of dogs fight a chained up bear and you get a ton of glory for it, like a real fucking sicko.
But you also get a ton of checks in negative virtues,
like
cruelty and arbitrary and
greed.
You're telling me you don't want to take silver coins and throw them into a field where they should be planted so that the people have to go and dig them up? Come on, your consumption must be out. Look, if you guys are not feeling Book of the Estate, this is a great time to mention it before we lock in, and we can just do Book of the Manor still.
I'm fine staying with Book of the Manor. I skimmed the first couple chapters of Book of the Estate and said, wow, this is really different. I bet James will explain it to me.
I think the other thing to note is that in Book of the Estate, it has a really specific rule that the bonus to child survival, you roll it twice and it doesn't apply to the first roll. So for infants, there's a 10% chance they just outright die. Even if you're a superlative knight, there's no way to prevent it.
No, the way it works is you roll once, and if you roll the certain number, you roll again. So effectively, it makes them harder to die.
So it's split between page 22 and page 14. So in 22 is the family survival rolls, and for instance, if you roll for an infant and you roll 0 to 1 year old infant and you roll 1 or 2, they die. On page 14 of the same book, it indicates that during the winter phase, your rich or superlative knight bonuses do not apply to the first time that you roll.
Oh yeah, for infants, yeah. So that is true insofar as.
So it makes it much more deadly. Your children are way more likely to die
in their first year. But then
sure.
Year one to 21, then they roll a dice. If they roll a 1 or a 2, they make a second roll. If they roll a 1 to 5 on that roll, they die.
I agree. It's just that I would hate for you guys don't really have a lot of heirs right now. I would hate for your character to rapidly age as they try to make an heir, and then they, critically fail a couple times.
What was the page you referred to? Sorry, that had the
page
the
14 is the winter phase alterations for.
Yeah, because normally with this version, you don't work out how you stand living until the end.
Yeah, so page 14, bottom right hand corner above the historical note, it says apply those bonuses to the rolls. A newly revised and extended table for family survival rolls is provided on page 22 to 23. Its use is recommended. Apply child survival modifier to the second roll, not the first.
Yeah, well, so the second roll would be
extremely explicit about that.
Yeah, so on page 22,
yes,
the child chart has a 1 and a 2. The infant chart only has a 1. Only has one roll. So it's saying if you're rolling for a child, you only apply the child modifier to the second roll, not to the first.
I assumed it also applies to infants, but you are saying it only applies to the column that says child. That makes sense. All right, never mind. I don't have anything to add.
I will also point out this chart has rolls for the elderly and very old,
which I like that. That's one thing that's missing from. So something I think you missed from the winter phase in Pendragon Normandy, and this is completely Pendragon's fault, nothing to do with this group, is that unless you roll birth in the family, death in the family, marriage in the family, none of those things happen otherwise. So you have like a knight who just gets older and older and never marries, never has kids, and never dies until it's like, I've just rolled death in the family, I'll go pick this 75-year-old knight over here. Yeah.
Specifically, I have 2 of those dudes in my family.
Yeah. When I fully read this, I thought I would love to actually sit down with Dynamis and code a program to do this for us, because we're tracking our family trees with 30 plus people. It'd be nice to have a thing where we just go, okay, bang, roll. Okay, what happened this year? This guy died. This person got married. This person had kids. I Although that might be because I mean we do think about our families, and it calculates things as well, like what was the cause of death, for example.
Yes, a wife murdered by the husband, most probably. I don't know why people are laughing, and the reverse, I believe, can also happen.
The justice system in England in year 511.
Or murdered by some random guy while in a monastery.
So
right,
look,
16 to 20, found dead of wounds, unknown source. That's men, of course.
So it sounds like for now we're sticking with the Book of the Manor.
Well, I agree, but we may want to consider doing some sort of port for the family survival rules for the adults, just so that they don't end up being, 220 years old. They show up like Moses. They have 2 tablets. They're like, I remember when Uther was still king. Uther died almost 100 years ago. I was there.
One thing I'll say, by the way, about Book of the Estate is that it does really limit it has this thing called disposable income. So all the income that your estate earns is not cash. It's like food and building materials, all sorts of ways.
Chattel, I believe, is what they term it.
Yeah, and you basically get 1/10 of the income as your disposal. So if you have a £50 estate, you get £5. And when you build improvements from the £45 that are not your disposable income. They come from the estate's funds. But it does mean that we won't be able to do things like we've done in the game where we go, oh, this is a problem. We throw £30 at it because we wouldn't get a lot of disposable income unless Arthur says you can pull that money out of your estate's funds if it hasn't used them, for example. But that's just, I guess that's no further consideration, is that right now, whatever our estate's generated as excess is literally dollar bills in the bank. Whereas with Book of the Estate, any excess it's restricted what you can use on, because it's not just money. You can't just give 100 libra to the church as a donation to please them.
Well, you guys want to do Winterface?
Yeah.
Let's do some Winterface.
Get my book open. The other books.
Yeah.
Let's start with all our skill rolls. So we need to do all the current holdings.
Yes.
Like the, what do you call it? The
rolls for energetic
checks.
and all of that.
Yeah, let's happen first.
All right.
And we need to talk about it so that people don't just look at us clicking buttons.
I do get a check in energetic.
I did have a scene, Spoon, where you were resworn loyalty to the king, and so you would have fealty Robert and fealty Arthur at the same time. I worked out the mechanics. Solidly works out. Arthur makes you a vassal. You don't get any say in it. You get transferred over, but the book says that you legacy keep your original fealty. So you would owe loyalty to 2 people at the same time, even though you owe one of them liege homage.
Yeah, homage.
Yeah, I thought you might enjoy having divided loyalty like that, but
yeah,
it would only happen under estate. It would be the king giving you something because he took your nice fancy castle.
He took my badass castle.
A huge amount of money building.
Yeah.
I was like, it would be reasonable to just give him another estate back. Oh shit, if the king gives him a manor back, then he becomes a servant of the king.
All right.
I did amazingly here. So I got checks in basically everything except for romance and hunting. So in terms of like the things I could roll from, just still roll for the balance.
I did not get a check in spiritual. I did get energetic and hospitality.
I actually got a check
my roll for
cowardly.
check things.
So important that you got to check for hospitality, Glimo. We'll talk about that next time.
I have to do all of my manor checks. I was just doing my
Oh, and if you don't have one, everyone should be checking a check for loyalty Arthur. If you don't have it, now's the time to do your 3d6 roll.
Have it. Checked it.
Okay. If it was already checked, you don't get a double check. But if you didn't have it checked, get it. You were there during the coronation, the great battles.
We were there when the strength of men fell. Failed.
I mean, there's a strong chance you may be there when the strength of men fails.
All right, I'm ready to start doing my rolls now. So,
Same.
energetic does not go up. My honest does not go up. My merciful does not go up. My spiritual does not go up. My cowardly goes up, which means I'm going to be spending one of my points of my glory to get my cowardly back down again, because I've dropped my valorous below 16 now, which means I'm no longer chivalrous until I fix that.
Oh, I see. Yes, that is a pretty good reason why.
Family does not go up. Hospitality doesn't go up. That's my third crit. Multi-fellowship doesn't go up. Love of God does go up. Loyalty to Arthur goes up.
Don't.
Falconry goes up.
So check the spiritual.
Flirting
Roll
goes
for
up.
Proud. No.
Intrigue does not go up.
Roll for horsemanship.
Horsemanship goes up.
So energetic. That
Siege
doesn't
does
go up.
not. Sword does not.
Spiritual does not go up.
That does not.
Love family
Energetic does not go up.
does not go up.
So I think despite having a shitload of checks, all I got
Loyalty,
was
Arthur.
cowardly, love of God, loyalty to Arthur, and flirting.
Hunting does not go up.
Oh, and falconry.
Horsemanship. Oh, horsemanship goes up. And then lance does not go up. I
Loyalty
got
Lord does not go up.
one loyalty Arthur increased to a 9. My modest increased to a 7, which means my proud dropped to a 13. My lance, did I say my lance went up? What was my last one? My horsemanship went up, and that's it.
Loyalty Lord, love, family, hospitality, and honor do not go up. Loyalty Arthur does go up.
That's good. Again, not that we're using it, but the Book of Estate rules say that if you don't have at least a 14 loyalty for your lord, you start losing honor because everyone questions your commitment to the king.
Falconry goes up.
Wait, when did you get a falconry check this year?
I own a muse.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we all do. It's one of those ones that like costs very little to give you a free check every year.
Intrigue goes up.
Everyone knows that your Uma Nightmay gets rated by the spread of its stats. So having high falconry despite never using it. That is a joke for Spoon, and he's not even paying attention.
Oh, sorry.
All right. No, it's fine.
Oh, so close.
Wow.
Critted my spear expertise, so it does not go up.
He's using his cheater sauce, and he's still...
All right, I am done with checks.
I'm done with checks as well. Do your age and all your followers. All that happened was Quiggins' wife's stewardship went up.
Oh, yes, I need 3d6. Nothing goes up. Where's her age? It is. Okay. Now we estate.
You mean manor?
Yes.
Yep.
Let's see. Add a year.
All right, let's see how we did with investments this year.
I got an 8.
Oh, I think I rolled pretty well on the disaster chart.
Yeah, 16. That's not
16
bad.
seems pretty high.
So fate was 16.
Hmm.
So -1.
That's what you like to see. That's what you like to see. A 5 and 2 6s on my horse herd.
I got a benefit.
Nice.
So what are you thinking for that horse herd? Silent Suzuka, Die with Scarlet, or maybe more of like a vodka?
No, I'm thinking like some Oguri Cap and like some Grass Wonder. Maybe a
Summer Marzensky out here destroying everybody.
I got a no
Jesus.
results.
Fucking nightmare week. People who don't like Russian horses.
Okay, and now I need concern my commoners.
I get my scarecrow really worked. All vermin scared away, -2 to fate this year.
Nice.
Oh.
I fumbled concern my commoners. Does that mean it goes? If a passion is very low,
It goes down by 1. Yeah.
still goes down. Okay, yeah.
My manorial luck is no result.
And if you fumble your concern, there's something bad that happens, I'm sure.
1 second, I'll tell you.
Looking for it in the
Ooh, a success.
fate, weather, manorial
Yeah,
luck,
fumble is +5 to fate.
+5 to fate.
And if you pass your concerned commoners, it's -5, right?
Yeah, and if you quit, it's -10.
Okay.
So that means I just get a -5 in the care column, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Let's see.
Misfortune succeeds.
I got a good. I got success versus failure. Good.
And stewardship fumbles. Ugh. So that is terrible. Stewardship fumble. So I got a very bad.
So I got the steward's die roll success, misfortune's die roll success, but I won the tie, so I got a regular harvest. And then I need to roll.
So I'm gonna need to pay myself 8 to cover the bad harvest.
My population did grow, so I'm going to spend the 20 20 Libra required. Sorry, 10 Libra required to automatically pass the census check.
I am going to try to build a winery. I succeed.
Have an indulgence check each year.
So I am going to, because of the era we're in, new defensive stuff is available, right?
Think so?
Yes. Let's take a look. The new castle construction start on page 123 of the Great Pendragon campaign and include small castle, medium castle, and large castle, and cover specifically everything from curtain walls to triple square towers.
Okay.
If you're looking to just go all out, a huge keep is 100 Libra. It gives you a DV of 20, which is considerably higher than your current amount. I mean, that will be going from you have like what, a wooden tower. You have like an earthworks and wooden Mott and Bailey, and you'll be going to full stone castle, Roman construction.
Let's see.
I'm going to build a scriptorium. So AP, I know that so this is an improvement for estate. So I'm just going to be narratively building it here in case we switch to estate. But along just to sort of to further sort of expunge Gwiggin's dishonor upon the family, I'm going to add a nunnery to the church.
Okay. I wouldn't say that there was a dishonor. The king fully honors his intent, but it was a criminal act. But I would never want to stop you from adding a nunnery. My grandmother was a Catholic school teacher, so.
What would the build process look like for building one of these castles? Would I have to individually build each of the
You do have to individually build each part, which is why I'd encourage you to just pick, if you want to keep, build the keep. If you just want a really nice gate to keep people out, build that.
Okay. So I think we will start with a tall square keep.
Tall square keep, DV 1550 Libra.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I'm also going to roll for population growth, which I succeed. I'm also going to spend the 20 Libra to automatically grow my pop by 1.
So the tall square keep is laying down the
10 Libra.
That is the stronghold of your castle.
Yes.
It's essentially the innermost part, and you'll have to build the outer works and such individually as you want. Okay.
Yep.
Just making sure. Where are you building this castle?
This is at Pitton.
Okay, so you're turning Pitton into your primary residence that also has a castle.
Yes, I'm upgrading Pitton into a stone castle.
Is it too much to ask for a courtesy roll to ask the king for permission to build defensive works on your land?
I don't think so.
Okay, I feel like that's pretty important.
Could I possibly get a bonus for him taking away my other castle that I already have?
He hasn't taken that away though, because we're not doing Book of the Estate, so you get to keep it.
Ooh, that's a failure.
Yikes. That's deeply unfortunate. I think you get a series of letters from a rotating set of stewards as the king is going through new secretaries and such that are just yes, we see your request to build a large armed fortress on your land while you already have a large armed fortress on your land. I see. We will speak with the king about this and get back to you in 3 to 5 years while we establish a new bureaucracy.
Do you have? I mean, I don't know if they do
can I
it
make a
there.
second roll?
What is the second roll?
Loyalty Arthur
You're
to see if I build it
smiling.
anyway. Yeah.
Do you want to fail this roll?
No, but I would like to roll my, because he never asked the first time either. He just built it.
Oh, I thought you asked Robert.
Yeah.
Or not Robert.
Well, no.
Ellen.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and
but,
she gave you
there was no
dispensation to
king.
do it.
Yes, there was no king at the time, or like he had just died.
Yes.
So
If you
basically,
what are the layouts of this roll? You do it if you fail?
Yeah. So if I fail my loyalty Arthur,
Okay.
I go, well, I'll just get started, because obviously he won't refuse me.
Okay. Interesting.
And then if I succeed, I wait for his word.
Does this have to be a loyalty Arthur, or could it even be a pride? No, I accept your terms. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say if he does it anyway, he gets a pride check.
Yes, I
all right,
absolutely. Pride check for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I fail my loyalty Arthur, and I order the construction to go ahead. And I go, oh, we're making some repairs to my castle.
To the castle that doesn't exist at Pitton.
Well, I mean,
Yes, we're repairing it by fixing its non-existence.
Yeah.
You know, for some of the Merlins, that would be a valid argument chronologically. Since he knows a castle will exist there in the future, of course you have to start it at some point.
There's always been a castle at Pitton. What are you talking about?
I don't know about in the US, but in the UK or Australia, if you want to make changes to your home externally, you've got to go and post a statement at the local council about what's going to happen, and your neighbours have a right to sort of reply and complain about it.
Yes.
I imagine that his castle's stuck going through that council process.
I knew you were going to say that, and I thought you were going to say talk about the guy who built the castle on his land and hid it behind hay bales, because apparently in England, if no one complains for 2 years, then it's fine. So he built a castle on his land and hid it behind massive hay bales for 2 years.
Yeah.
During the pandemic.
That's crazy.
This is where we start talking about ancient lights.
I am going to sell the charger and palfrey that we got as loot instead of making stable rolls on them.
It was multiple charger.
Yeah, so we got 2 chargers, two roundseys and palfrey. My charger died the second day, so I only have 1 charger, 1 palfrey, and 2 roundseys.
Yeah, it's 1 charger, 2 roundseys, just to make sure.
I only got 1 charger and 1 palfrey because I think.
Oh right, yeah, because you were mad for that.
Elffin was mad. Yes.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh wait.
No, that was before.
Oh wait, no, you're right. It was the other. Sorry, I didn't go back enough sessions.
Set of battles. Yes.
You got
you got a charger and 2 roundseys at Carleon, and then you went mad on day 1 of the Battle of Bedegrain.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
So
I'll keep 1 charger, and that way I can give it to my squire when he graduates next year.
I actually would like you to make a 3d6 loyalty. Open a new loyalty for hatred picks for your actions during this year when you were dueling all the picks. I feel like that's really 11. Okay, that's a reasonable. It's a reasonable hatred. You hate them more than you don't hate them. I actually like this because it implies that you took the kilt in one of those you have to understand your enemy in order to truly hate them sorts of deals.
I got a marriage in the family. Who can get married? Who could it be? Oh, for fuck's sake.
All right, so then I'll roll for those other 2 horses. The other 2 horses survive. Okay, I am going to try to have kids this year.
Yeah.
And I am taking superlative, so that's a +3. '22, child is born.
Roll for child survival too. I can find my.
And it's a boy. And now, let me just check. I think I already have 1 kid. Yes, Elffin already has 1 son, so I need to roll 2d20. All the kids are fine.
I got death in the family, and I think those 2 older knights that I mentioned. I think one of them is going to die. Sir Selwyn de Pitton, 71 years old.
Wow. I remember that one time you sent Selwyn off on a long mission, and then we basically have never heard from him again.
Yep.
Wiggins' eldest daughter got married.
Nice.
Birth in the family. Who do I have left who can possibly have children? Not old enough, not old enough. Too old.
Too old? Jesus. That phrase specifically triggers me because it makes me think of Olenna Tyrell and Tywin Lannister having a conversation about how they should get who's the Knight of Flowers? Not Lauren. Loras and Cersei married. And she's like, too old. And it will live forever in my head.
Yeah, I mean, Krieg is 61, so,
Whoa.
That's Elffin's dad, so I don't think he's going to be pumping out any new kids with
Whoa, listen,
his
I'm going to
wife
be
who's still
straightforward
alive.
with you here. At 61, you can still have a ton of kids as
true.
a man.
True. I suppose there could be bastard kids, but...
I was going to say, we got, isn't there, some Aerosmith shit going on, or am I thinking of the wrong guy?
You're thinking the wrong guy. Where's the other... Yeah, I
Right,
don't think
I've-
Mifi or Fawn are going to be pumping out kids in their 50s.
I raised my reed Latin, my hunting, and my horsemanship with training.
Shall
Now, how
shall
good's
I say
your-
that Bronwyn knocked up his wife before he died?
Wow.
Because
Crazy.
that's about the only person in my family tree of childbearing age.
Your father was captain of a night unit, 12 minutes. Saved 500 lives.
All right. It's a girl.
Bob, we had a baby. It's a girl. Jesus.
I'm going to put my 1 point into my honor passion.
Is that with your glory?
Yeah, with my
Glorious men.
yearly. Well, no, that's the undergo training and
your
practice.
training. Yes, yes.
Yes.
All right. I am gonna do 1d6 of skills, or 1d6 plus 1. I get 6 points.
With my 3 glory points this year, I'm going to go 2 into appearance and 1 in dexterity. Well, actually, no. I'll take that. I'll leave dexterity at a 7, and we'll put that last one into sword. So I'm now officially above the 20 cap for sword.
Your 21 sword?
21 sword, baby.
What are you, fucking Lancelot du Lac? Relax, dude.
Not even close.
Needs to be so high that you can split his sword and fight 3 different people at the same time.
An auto critter against all of them.
So, James, you bought out Cowardly. What happened with your other glory point?
I'm putting a point into modest,
Oh, interesting.
so I'm now famously modest as well, and a point into generous.
For my training and practice, I got a 6, so I'm gonna put 3 points into hunting, 2 into orate, and 1 into courtesy. And then for my 4 glory points, I'm gonna put 2 into size and 2 into dex.
Fantastic. Now we have less than 5 minutes to wrap this bad boy up. What do we need to do to speed run this thing?
I think I'm done.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it.
All right. So I have several notes. We're not going to meet next week. We do meet the week after that, and then we don't meet the week after that? Is that right? Or is Glimo out in 4 weeks?
See, we don't meet on the 15th. We do meet on the 22nd and 29th. We don't meet on the 16th.
Okay,
That's right, isn't it,
29th.
Glimo?
Yeah, so
That matches my calendar.
very well.
Yeah.
I'm still cooking up the menu for next year's intro, but here are some trailer for 5.11 for you. Definitely the castle thing is gonna come back. Absolutely, I've added that to the list here. Blodwyn's husband needs neck cream. Yeah, it's a real B-roll kind of year. 5.11. It's like here's everything that happens in the Pentecostal feast, and then immediately, here's what happens at the Christmas feast. So we you know, we got to have some B-roll here. Elffin will have a guest at his manor, one that he will not enjoy.
Excellent.
And then there's a note that says Gwent and the Witch of Disease. So that's going to be a thing as well. I think that covers all of us.
Yeah, Blodwyn has rolled 3 times for childbirth and failed every time.
Wow. All right, well, you have to do the medieval thing and then blame the husband and say he's the problem. Then
That's right.
petition the Pope to have him divorced. And then marry a new man.
Real quick, what's everybody's new glory after this year?
6574.
5129.
Nice. 14,535.
Did you do your aging rolls as well, by the way?
Oh nope, I forgot those. Let's see.
How convenient.
At the top of my roll for aging, 2d6.
James, how are you going to feel if he actually just straight dies?
Only one attribute lost.
I mean, he wants to die. What are you talking about?
It's a load-bearing attribute.
And it's my size. It is a load-bearing attribute.
I feel like your size goes down all the time.
It does. I've been putting so many freaking glory points into my. Literally,
You're like Mario picking up a mushroom and then getting hit by a Koopa.
I can tell you that at 46 years old, I have lost about half an inch from my maximum height. As my back, my spine is compressed.
I can tell
you, James.
However old I am, I forget whether it's 38 or 39, but I have also lost at least a full inch of height. Brutal.
I don't know if you want to do the math, but Kendric is also 46, and I started the game at size 18. I am now size 15.
Wow.
Guys,
What if we got
strong.
you some nice pump-up sneakers? Just kind of
start putting inserts in my riding boots.
No, I meant like the people who pumped up their Nikes before basketball games in like the early 2000s. You remember that shit? Like kids would be leaning down and just like madly pumping it up. I didn't get the point of that, but you know.
That's because there wasn't one. There wasn't a point to it.
Folks at home, we must depart. I got to go do something, and James also must do something. Goodbye.